Hey everybody, I'm Andy the Kenworth Guy. Thanks for coming by the channel today. So today we are looking at one of my favorite trucks that I've kind of envisioned and dreamt up. So this paint design is something that I've seen on the internet. I saw it on Instagram. I can't even remember where I found it, but I really love the design, and then immediately I had this like 1970s throwback design paint that I wanted to do. So let's see some B-roll and I'll dive into what this truck is all about. Wow. So this truck is a 2021 W900L 72-inch aero cab flat top. They do call this a flat top, even though some people would classify this as a mid-roof. It's a 3-color factory paint design, and I'll talk about the paint schemes in a second here. But let's just kind of go over the specs here. I'll show you what it's all about. So basically, we got the 13,002 front 200-pound front axle with a 5-inch factory drop. We actually lowered the front end as well. I'll show you underneath the hood what was changed here when I open that up. But that's lowered down, so it's kind of slammed. You'll notice too on the fenders here, we have clear LED, standard LED lights. And these are done by Shift Products. Good friends of mine over at Shift did a whole lot of work on this truck for me. We call this truck Trinity, and the name Trinity comes from the 3 lines here is kind of what I'm calling this paint scheme. So I have another truck on order for a customer with this the same design, just different colors. So I really like this look. It's a really cool way to kind of break up the two-tone look with these 3 additional lines down below here, the 3 hockey sticks or whatever you want to call it. So looking at the paint color, as you know, if you follow this channel, you've probably seen me talk about legendary colors before. So this is a Imron Elite legendary paint. It is a Exalta paint design, and it is a legendary brown. This is legendary champagne. And this is just the cream L0004 is the paint code for that creamy white. So I'm doing a few trucks here with a pearl white coming up. So there's going to be some metal flake in that separating line here in future trucks. So I'm excited to show that. So looking up at the front here, some of the things that we did. One more thing I'd like to do on it is just change these out for the JW speaker headlights and throw those on there. But we put a 20-inch bumper. We got the 45-inch angled sides here, and we have the lights in the corner there. Again, clear LEDs. Those are the standard LEDs. Really hard to show how they shine in the daylight and in the showroom here, but you get the idea. We have the additional ribs on the grill here. So we got the 7 ribs across the front, and then up above, we have the Midwest Ford bow tie, skinny bow tie from Shift Products. And then we also put on the bullet lights there up on the roof, and again, clear LEDs up top. So everything facing forward is clear LED. Everything facing back is clear red. I really love, that's kind of what I wanted it to look like. Just, I I really love how it turned out. It looked really sharp. I left the elephant ears on here, so it's got those guys right there. We didn't do any air cleaner lights, just kept it really clean. As far as down here, we have the additional stainless steel closure panel. And then as you can see here, the underglow lighting with the stainless shift products, custom cab skirting. And I love how they've lined everything up here. It's just really clean. All the lines are really sharp. Over here we have the polished battery box. So Rob at Big Truck Detail did a really nice job of bringing this to life here. It was pretty pitted from the drive up from the factory, and then same thing with the fuel tanks here as well. So Rob did a fantastic job getting that done. Now before we go further back, I just want to show you the exhaust, some of the options that we did here. We did the 6-inch 54-inch tall miter cut pipes, or no, those are 5s. I can't remember. I think they're 6s. Yeah, I think they're 6s. Those are the miter cuts, 54-inch tall, so it just has that really cool stance. Really love it. We have the moto mirrors, both sides, and then the 15-inch preferred fit element with the bolts on the inside, as you can see in there, so for the air cleaner. We did a frame access package here on the driver's side. So you get the steps, you get 2 up to 5 feet for the catwalk, and then we have the grab handles on the back here. And while we're looking at the back, you can see the back lights are the clear LEDs as well. Those are the flush mount watermelons. Yeah, in the back of the, not flush, but they're the watermelons on the back of the cab. Just looks really good. Kenworth AG400L suspension on the truck here, and the wheelbase is a 255, so you can see how much space we got here. And we have the blind mount, so that blind mount bracket actually mounts to this guy right here, and we had it painted to match the frame color, which is brown, as you can see right there. So turned out really, really nice. We got drum brakes on the back here. And we got the Durbright rims on the truck here as well. Just not sure what the customer would want to do that's going to buy this, because this is actually a stock truck and it is for sale. So give me a phone call if you want to buy it. We got the 24-inch slide air fifth wheel right here, 24-inch air slide, and it's an 8-inch ride height on there. And then obviously you can see the brown painted frame. And there's the rear mud flap hangers, and then the rear tailboard, again from Shift Products. Just looks really, really sharp. The rear ends here, we have the the Dana Spicer DSH 40, so the high performance 40,000 pounds. So you can do Super B weights in the Canadian prairies. It is approved, but ideally this is set up for like triaxle or a quad axle trailer, or a tandem axle trailer if that's what you want to do. 110,000 pounds. Is what that's set up for. So on this side here, we have same thing, Durbright rims, and then the deep drop stainless steel half fenders, painted brackets, blind mount. Now, one thing that I wish was different on this truck, the only thing was the strap layout here. Now, it's really challenging sometimes to lay out the fuel tank straps, and I talked about this on one of the other trucks. I think it was on Comet. That had the same fuel tank layout as this truck here. So in doing a little bit more looking at how engineering laid out this truck, what I should have done is positioned this fuel tank a little bit further, maybe have about a 7-inch gap here, because this is a 150-gallon tank. Have the first fuel tank strap match up with that one over there, and then this support bracket that runs from here doesn't do anything on this tank, but that's just a support bracket over there. You can have those support brackets meet up and mount to the fuel tank strap brackets right there. So if you have that lining up, then the straps would be lined up as well. So I've kind of changed the wording in future specs for my stock trucks to have the straps lined up, starting right behind the cab. I always was trying to get the fuel fillers underneath, but you know what, in reality, it's with our product, we can't get the fuel filler and have access to it while the fuel filler is underneath the bunk. It's just impossible. So that's the only thing I would have changed on this spec here. But that's what we got going on this side here. And then obviously the cab skirts, the polished DPF box, and then the stacks and your air cleaners right here. So let's open up the hood here and I'll show you a few things that we got. Well, this one might be a bit tricky. So we ordered this truck for basically your 5-axle, 6-axle combined setup. And so it's got a 500 efficiency series, 1850 torque rated engine in here. And what else we did here is we put the additional supports for the fenders. And then we have the hood hinge reinforcement that runs across here. You can see that little bar that just helps it to open up the hood. And then this is the hood, heavy duty hood reinforcement option right there is what it's actually called, heavy duty hood reinforcement. I've had a lot of people ask me about that. We have the remote lube terminal right there, and then the boosting terminals, which is charging the batteries while the lights are on inside the showroom here. Now I talked about what we changed to lower the front end. So basically this shackle gets changed. It's quite a bit bigger. It gets shortened to kind of pull that up. We pull out a shackle in there, and then the U-bolts are changed as well to be a shorter U-bolt. And then that's basically sets the front end down. So we painted the shackles to kind of match the frame here as well, so that it's a little bit more of a clean match, which I think looks really fantastic. So I don't even remember asking anybody to do that. I think Shift maybe just did that on their own. So I'm really impressed. Nice work, boys and girls. Looks awesome. So look on the other side here for a sec. So hot side of the engine here, we got your turbo, your HVAC system mounted right up in there. I ordered the trucks with the taps, so you can shut off the coolant going to the HVAC, so you're not having heat running through that in the summertime, which isn't really needed. So that's a little bit about this side. Let's go inside and I'll show you what we set up in there. All right, so let's take a look. So before we walk in here, I'll just show you here. So this panel here, it is an option to have it in stainless. I've been kind of shying away from it here on a lot of these trucks, just so that we can get these nice clean lines. So you got a line running all the way across. And then when you get this, whether you do the shift lights or other lights, you get this panel here. But with shift, they've engineered the passenger side one to be a skinnier strip, because the DPF box is a lot thicker, comes up a lot higher. So this one here, you can get an actual light and then they line up. The other lights that are available are mounted up here, and I don't really like having lines up here and then dropping it down. That's just my personal take on it. So looking inside the cab here, we have the shift carpet floor mats, and then I have the black carpet floor all throughout here. So these shift mats were custom designed. Jason over there, he came by here one day and we measured up the trucks, or gave him the keys to measure everything up, and it kind of wraps around. So you get that nice carpet mat all throughout with the Shift logo. And a lot of times I'm getting these Shift logos custom colored to what my customer's truck is going to be ordered in with. So that's kind of a neat touch there. I'm a fan of that. So looking on this side here, before we go inside the truck, we have the backup lights. Those are just the red lights on the back of the bunk, your ignition, and then this is to adjust the brightness of the dash. Here is your interior lights, your sleeper lights, engine fan, and air traction control. We got your standard gauges up in here. And then on the door pad, you'll notice here we have the diamond stitching. And then here is the power door locks, and then your mirror controls right there with the heat, and then your window lift controls. Now on this side here, we have your standard gauge cluster, and then obviously I did the full gauge package all the way across, and then all the switches are pretty much utilized. So over here we have your DPF, your PTO, pre-wired for beacons. So if a guy wants to go on flat deck with his truck, it's pre-wired for beacons. Auxiliary lights, so those are lights underneath the bunk. There's your fifth wheel slide, your hazards, your jakes, your cruise, air suspension dump, and then your full four-way diff locks. I didn't talk about the weight of this truck here. Gearing is 336s, and the weight of the truck is 8,361 kilograms. Now up here is some leftover plastic that needs to come out. Actually, you know what? No, I won't do that. I don't have time. So yeah, we have the AM/FM USB radio with Bluetooth, and then you got your USB and auxiliary inputs right there. Now there's 3 switches up here. Now sometimes I say it's got a full dash, but you still see an opening here. Sometimes there's 4. With speccing the trucks, sometimes there's too many circuits running through to power up the lights, so we have to eliminate switches. So even though it's not really full, it is on the back end of things. So that's something to keep in mind when we're doing a spec for a customer. So steering wheel is a leather wrapped standard wheel. It's not the smart wheel. The smart wheel is a handy thing to put on the truck if we need to increase the amount of switches on the order. So if we want to have more switches, we can free up the 2 crews and the 2 jakes, and that gives us 4 more switches for other applications that are needed. We have your cup holder and your power outlets right there, and then down below is a storage pocket. Over here is an additional storage pocket. This is for logbook holder, old school, but it's got this little clipboard. It's kind of a handy thing to have. Keep your paperwork or whatever you want. Throw your wallet in there and give the clipboard to your kid. I don't know. We ordered it with the black dash, so you get the black glove box right here, and the black dash up top, and then the black kind of all the way through here, and then the interior obviously is the black interior. I did the leather black seats, air cushion premium plus, so you have the additional lumbar supports, and then the heat controls right there. There's a little cup holder here, so you got 3 cup holders, and then this little storage pocket. I like to throw my cell phone in there when I'm driving so it doesn't flop around. So that's a few things. Now with the shift carpet mats, you can see here, they kind of wrap around the shifting boot, and you got the Shift Products logo right there, and these are kind of fitted to the interior, so looks really sharp. Now I'm just going to put this over here while we go into the back of the bunk and talk about what's in the truck back here. All right, so we got the black carpet in the bunk as well as in the cab, so that matches up really nice. We have the curtain that goes between the cab and the sleeper, so that's right up there. Storage up above here with the full cabinets that go all the way to the back wall, so that's a really nice look. And then obviously you have the doors with the windows in both sides. Now the truck comes standard with a cigarette lighter and a ashtray or garbage can for power back here, and then there's an optional 12-volt outlet. So this is not standard, that's an option. It's like 30 bucks to add it in if you want it. We have your fridge down below here, and then the drawer with the table that flips down. Now the way to get the doors in the order is you have to order the diamond VIT interior, not just the diamond interior. Diamond interior will give you all the diamond stitching on the back wall and on the doors, but it won't give you the cabinet doors. You got to order the VIT in the 72-inch bunk to get that. Now this door won't open all the way because the stowable armrest is kind of flipped up. So if we move that, now it opens up all the way, and then that table can flip down into the spot just like so. Now on this side here, just show you a few things. We got the closet. It's kind of the deep closet here, so you can hang something down low, and you got lots of space down below to put more storage down there. The back side, right here are the cabinets. These are not standard. About $500 to add these lower drawers from the factory. And I'm talking Canadian funds. So that's what we got over there. Underneath is this little curtain. So that comes standard. And then there is the storage underneath. So you got lots of room to throw an additional cooler or whatever you choose to put underneath there. Now back here, this is your standard control unit for the back. So when you order the fridge, you get the switch here. These are standard lights for the sleeper. So you get this panel, and then you got the sleeper overhead light, and then there's your heat controls. This alarm clock is not standard, so you'd have to pick that, and that's in your gauges section when you're selecting that. You got another cup holder back here, and the storage running all the way across the back. So you gotta love this truck. All right, so that's it for this week's video. Hey, I sure appreciate you coming down here to watch this video today. And like I said, this truck is ordered for stock. It's a pretty fancy truck. If you're curious about how much it costs, $250,000 Canadian is the price of this truck today, based on today's exchange rate, based on today's market. So that price can fluctuate depending on some of the variables that we use to price out trucks. So $250,000 truck, $250,000 truck. It's like a Lamborghini, even nicer, because you can make money with this. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. If you want to subscribe to my channel, click the link down here, just hit the subscribe. And if you want to take it up a level and be like a super subscriber, hit off that bell. That way you get notified about when the videos come out every week. And hey, if you want to check out my social media sites or my personal website, I'll put you a link up here. Takes you to the kenworthguy.com, and you can see what I have going on. I'm on Snapchat, I'm on Instagram, on Facebook, I'm on TikTok. I'm doing the TikTok stuff. LinkedIn and all that stuff. You can get a hold of me. If you want to spec out your own truck, also my website, I have a little specking tool in there, so you can send me your information along with a few of the details that you want, and you can get a hold of me that way. So that's it for this week's video. Thanks for watching, and have yourself the world's best day.